America's 200th birthday was in 1976. There were official government celebrations, private, individual, and corporate involvement. The celebration was for the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Across the nation, from 1975 through July 4th, 1976, various celebrations were held. There was the Freedom Train that traversed the nation from coast to coast with exhibits about the founding of our nation. There was a wagon train that traced the old wagon roads that made the nation from coast to coast. There was Operation Sail, a celebration of tall ships in the harbors of New York and Boston. More about these events later on. The government minted several coins commemorating the Bicentennial. Most common were the quarter. Many private and corporate celebrations were held. Various companies such as International Harvester, J.I. Case Company, Kenworth, Peterbilt, and others painted red, white, and blue special editions on newly manufactured products. International Harvester had their Spirit of 76 Cadet lawnmower. It was not part of the Cub Cadet line, but a smaller mower produced in Louisville, Kentucky's IH plant. The Little Cadet was only produced for 1 year in the special red, white, and blue Patriotic paint scheme. IH also released the Spirit of 76 Scout with its fancy red, white, and blue paint scheme. The J.I. Case Company came out with their Spirit of 76 Agri-King tractor. The Case Spirit of 76 tractor had a red, white, and blue paint scheme with white stars. This beautiful paint scheme utilized the original Power White and Power Red with added red, white, and blue stripes with large white stars in the blue stripes. A very striking tractor, and I'll review a 16th scale version in the future. So make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so that you don't miss it. Kenworth, they put out their Bicentennial celebration releases, which were Special Edition W900 VIT 200 Conventional and K100 VIT 200 cab-over trucks. Each of these trucks have unique features and painted in Bicentennial white with red, white, and blue stripes, along with gold pinstriping and special edition decals. More on the VIT 200 Special Edition Kenworths in a later video. Not to be left out, Peterbilt released 200 Special Edition trucks, dubbed as the Patriot Edition in 1976. Presumably, there were 100 352 cab-overs and 100 359 conventionals, released in the base color white with red, white, and blue stripes to commemorate the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Other commemorative items were also made. Yes, toys too. Ertl made several replicas with the red, white, and blue paint schemes. One of note was the Case Spirit of 76 1570 Agri-King tractor. Several versions were released since 1976. Lionel, they produced replicas of the Southern Pacific and the Santa Fe steam Freedom Trains that crisscrossed America with their exhibits about events from American history. Tyco Trains also got into the act and put on the market red, white, and blue train sets. pretty much any full-size patriotic paint scheme vehicle to commemorate the 200th birthday of the signing of the Declaration of Independence had a toy replica made of it. Other real vehicles were sent to the paint shop for repainting. Case in point, the FDNY 1970 Mack CF pumper, engine number 9, from Manhattan, was repainted red, white, and blue. Another toy manufacturer that specialized in museum quality replicas had an exact scale model made of this fire truck. Many other items were produced, too numerous to mention. Bicentennial parties were held by individuals using red, white, and blue themes. The entire country was pulled together to celebrate the founding of freedom, a party worth attending then and today. Mack Trucks was way ahead of the curve. They may have even set the entire pattern for the patriotic paint schemes to come in 1976 when they released their 1970 Mack Truck Stars and Stripes editions. Did you hear me say 1970? Yep, you did. Mack released their Stars and Stripes editions back in 1970 to commemorate Mack's 70th anniversary. At the time, Mack wanted to celebrate their heritage and promote patriotism for the coming 200th anniversary of the founding of America. In late 1976, as the 1977 model year, Mack introduced the RW700 Superliner. It came out a little bit too late to commemorate America's Bicentennial, but First Gear came up with a patriotic red, white, and blue paint scheme advertising Mack trucks on their Superliner in 64th scale. And here we go, guys. Here is that beautiful Mack Superliner with 40-foot vintage dry van trailer for Mack Trucks, the greatest name in trucks. It's an advertising specimen that was created by DCP by First Gear. It goes along with the Bicentennial theme with the red, white, and blue, even though this truck came out just a little bit too late for that ceremony. The box is the standard DCP box, and its item number is 60-0986. And you can see the Mack Trucks licensing and their marks and everything else about it. And there it is, out of the package. Isn't that beautiful? The white truck, the white trailer with the red and blue striping, and then the beautiful Mack graphics. Now, I've talked about this trailer many times, so I'm not really going to go into much detail about it, but I'm going to talk about the graphics on it and then talk about the truck. It's got the red and the blue stripes right down the side, which match up with on the cab. It's got that beautiful, the greatest name in trucks tampoed on the side. And then it's got the Mack Trucks logo with the Mack Bulldog right there in the red and blue patch right there on the back. Those graphics are extra crisp and clear on this model. It's got the 10-hole chromes and soft rubber tires, plus the working landing gear just like all the other DCP trailers. Also, there is the spare tire hanging underneath. On the back, you can see it does have the opening doors with the detailed interior, the wooden interior this time. And then the mud flaps have Mack Trucks and the Bulldog logo on them on white mud flaps. The back door, it's got the Mack Trucks, greatest name in trucks, and then 85 years serving the industry. This was made for Mack's 85th anniversary. Really, really cool. They also pulled those red and blue stripes around the back of the trailer. Over on the passenger side, you've got the same beautiful graphics. They did a great job on those graphics. Now on the front, they didn't pull the stripes around, but they did put the Mack Trucks logo, and then they put a trailer number of 807. The tractor here is their newish tooling, which is the Superliner. It's not brand new, but it is fairly new. And this was one of the first releases announced on it, but it took a long time for this one to come out.
It has the Mack Trucks logo on the door. It's got Allentown, PA, also on the door, and a US DOT number. Up on the side of the hood, it's got the Mack Trucks and the Superliner logo. They also put the red and blue stripes there and an American flag. Underneath the air breather there is a truck number of 112. It's got chrome mirrors, chrome stacks, chrome steps, chrome deck plate, chrome quarter fenders, chrome front wheels, white painted steel rear wheels, and silver center caps. Interior is detailed. The hood does open on this guy to show off a nice 6-cylinder diesel engine. It's funny, they should have put the V8 in this one because that's what Super Dogs were famous for, was their big V8s, but they went with the 6. Air tank and battery box. Front end has a beautiful chrome Superliner grille, and it's got the square quad headlights. The rectangles on each side, number 112 on each fender in the front. Mack tampoed over as well as molded into the grille, and a bulldog up on the hood. Also on top of the hood, it's got a red stripe. Roof has the air horns with the rectangles on the end instead of rounded, and roof lights. They're just tampoed and molded into the cab. There's also a visor. Passenger side, graphics are all the same. Going around towards the back, you have Mack branded mud flaps, and those are really sharp. They're white, hanging on black brackets, and the tampo of the Mack Trucks logo. They also did a really nice job tampoing the brake lights, including a backup light. Fifth wheel there, chrome deck plate, pogo stick with airlines. And they also pulled those stripes around the back of the cab, so it has the red and blue stripes. Underneath, positionable front end. So the steering is not true steering, it's just positional, like all the rest of the DCPs. And then you got differentials, engine, transmission, detail, drive shafts. Everything you'd expect from here. There's also a little step back there. And now this chassis does seem a little long for a day cab, but the chassis was built with a sleeper, and some of them day cabs are long. And there we go, folks. That is the Mack Superliner day cab with a 40-foot vintage trailer for Mack Trucks in a beautiful Bicentennial Patriotic paint scheme of red, white, and blue. White with red and blue stripes. Isn't that just gorgeous? It's a 1/64 scale die-cast model by DCP by First Gear.
From 1975 through 1976, the celebration of America went on. The first of the national-oriented celebrations began in April of 1975 when the Freedom Train left Wilmington, Delaware to begin crisscrossing the United States. The Freedom Train contained 10 display cars with exhibits on American history. There was George Washington's copy of the Constitution, the original copy of the Louisiana Purchase, Martin Luther King's robes, plus a moon rock, among other historical items. It would eventually travel across 48 continental United States through December 31st, 1976, ending its journey in Miami, Florida. The Bicentennial Wagon Train did a reverse pioneer voyage, starting out in Blaine, Washington on June 8, 1975, and crossing the United States along original wagon roads until it reached Valley Forge on July 4, 1976. The trails that the settlers had originally used during the 200-year history of the United States saw state and local wagons traverse the Bozeman Trail, the Great Wagon Road, the Natchez Trace, the Old Spanish Trail, the Oregon Trail, and others. 60 official wagons started the trek east, but along the way, others joined in. By the time the Bicentennial Wagon Train reached Valley Forge on July 4th, 1976, there were over 300 wagons and 75 100,000 visitors. Operation Sail. Throughout the history of the United States, various sailing ships from all over the world visited American ports, especially the port of New York and Boston Harbor. For the Bicentennial, on July 4th, 1976, 16 tall ships from around the world would sail into New York Harbor. The ships would be representatives of various nations. The nautical parade would continue to Boston during the next week. There were more to the 1976 Bicentennial celebration, but as they relate to the toys, these were the highlights. I've got more videos coming up on America's Bicentennial edition, real machines, and toy replicas of them, like the Case 1570 Spirit of 76 tractor by Ertl, and the Kenworth K100 VIT 200 by IXO Models. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss them. Also, I've got one of these limited edition Patriotic Mack Superliner trucks left on my website. Get it while it's still available. If the link is gone, so is the last of these trucks. But I've got something else for you. My free report on tips for valuing your collection. Grab it so you can add only valuable items to your collection. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please go on and smash that like button and share this video. I'm Logan, the 64th Gear Jammer Skeele, and I'll be back soon with another episode of Toy Talk.